Alright, a very good morning to everyone. A peaceful, calm, positive morning. A Saturday morning to charge the self for the entire week. Okay, certain things are done daily, certain things are done weekly, and certain things are done monthly. But managing the self, managing the thoughts is a daily exercise. It's an ongoing exercise. We can finish with our education in 5 years, 10 years, but learning to improve my own self, trying to become a better person, is something which is a lifelong exercise. So we have taken the first step in that direction, and this step is very important because I decided, I chose to make myself a happier person, a peaceful person, a powerful person, a positive person. That is the choice I make today when actually I attend these sessions. So I can become very qualified in terms of skills. Since childhood, if I try to understand, we have been taught so many things in our lives. If I remember childhood, we were taught 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. I was taught A, B, C, D, cat, bat, rat. And today we see we have become so educated. So, what is missing in my life? No one told me how to manage my own thoughts. Though I know my mind has all the capacity which I need, but I was never told how to manage my thoughts, manage my own mind. And it's not the fault that exists with anyone, even they are unaware. So, how can they teach me something they themselves don't know? So, they taught me what they were taught. Okay, so in this entire process of education, educating myself, I somewhere lost my own self, the beauty of my own self, the goodness of my own self, the positivity of my own self. I lost it somewhere. So now we are making an endeavor to come back to that original self, my real natural self, which is free from all those extra burdens, extra stuff which I have accumulated over these years. So, some process we do understand, but we never deeply actually did anything to work on those things. So, let's again make some more attempt to go deeper into our own understanding. We were all talking about perception. Okay, that is what we started with. I think it's still not over because when I talk about the self, that's the least explored area in this world. If I ask people, where is Mount Everest? Who was the first prime minister? Do you know the law of gravity? You know who won Nobel Prize for physics this year? We say, yeah, I know. We are bombarded with so much information, and we always feel this inner quest to get more. But in this quest of knowing others more, knowing the world more, somewhere I lost myself, my own self. Therefore, knowing my own self, understanding my own self, embracing my own self as I am is becoming a big challenge. So, in this world where everyone is running, I need to actually slow down and see my own self for what I am, the beauty of my own self. When was the last time I saw myself with such a beautiful feeling? Yes, I am beautiful. When did I last see myself that way? So today I will extend my discussion from what I've been doing in the previous 3-4 lectures. We are back to all these discussions on the self. So it requires some more understanding why I am saying this. If I don't have that belief in my own self, if I don't accept myself as I am creating complications for my own self at every step. Even if I become successful, even if I achieve what I want in life, there'll always be a gap. There'll always be an emptiness which cannot be covered by, which cannot be filled by external elements. Let me give you a simple example. On a single day, what all we don't do to make ourselves happy. We try to eat well, we try to watch movies, listen to some soothing music, try to actually do some more things in terms of recreation, moving out, eating out with friends. We try to do all those set of things. But if I try to see in reality, am I happy with all those set of things? Am I really happy with all those set of things? At the end of the day, do I say, yes, I am today very happy? Or after 1 hour or 2 hours, I am back to mood swings. I'm back to irritation. I'm back to unhappiness. I'm back to complexes, fears, insecurities, apprehensions. So there's something missing, the connection which I need to have with my own self. That connection is missing. So building up that connection requires some amount of effort. And in that perspective, we had talked about self acceptance. I try to shed some more light on this concept because this is very important. It cannot be ignored. I'll tell you how we have built up this perception of our own self. Since childhood, there have been things which I have been told about my own self. In absolute level or in relative terms, there was always something which people told me, be it my family members, be it my friends, be it my relatives, be it my close circle. There was always something which was told to me. You are intelligent enough, you are beautiful enough, you are smart enough. Okay, everything was told to me. And that point, because I was actually not aware of how things happen, I started accepting all that was told to me, good or bad. At that point, there was no basis to actually use a judgment power. There was no ability to discern. And in that perspective, if I see, I could not judge right from wrong. So, whatever was told to me in terms of good or bad, I started accepting it. For example, I take a very simple example to put across my point. There's a small child who has just come from school taking a test. So probably the marks were not so good, so mother starts scolding him or her. That child is not aware he is good or bad, what he has done is good or bad. The only criteria to now see whether he has done well or not is the reaction of the mother. Now mother says, I worked so hard, I explained you everything, I taught you everything, make you learn everything, in spite of that you did all this. Now the child doesn't know what is coming his way, but child knows one thing, my mother is not approving of me, that means I am not good enough. This thing is not correct. So getting marks which are less or making silly mistake, this is not permissible. Now this is the perception which was built, which was given to me at the time when I was too young, and I start accepting myself that way. If I get low marks, if I get average marks, if I don't get the marks which top 5% or 1% is getting, I am not good enough. My worth is decided by what I achieve in terms of marks. Then things will move further in terms of how these perceptions are formed. The mother will say, look, neighbor's son got 10 out of 10 and you only got these many marks. Now I don't understand these things. My perception of my own self is now based on how people are seeing me. And I start building up my own perception based on people's perception of me. And people's perception about my own self is colored by their own understanding of the societal standards, how they define success, how they define failure, how they define approval by the society. They have their own benchmarks, they have their own criterias. So, based on that, they impose all those things on me. And I, not being in a capacity to reject it, because I don't know there's something called rejection, their perception becomes my perception. Whatever good or bad it was, I don't know because I was not in a capacity to judge it. And over the years, their imposed perceptions, those learned things, acquired things over the years, became a part of my personality, and they started forming my perceptions about my own self. So now I have my criteria set. So when the mother said 20 years back, you are not good enough because you didn't score well in test, that perception about my own self is coming into the discussion today. Why? Now I see myself in terms of those criteria. Now I don't see myself in absolute terms as I was when I was 4 years old. I now see myself through the eyes of all those people. They are now making my perception about my own self. They define those things. They define me now through their approvals and rejections. Now, what is happening? Please understand something very important that is happening. Those things have been formed now based on how I have acquired all those things during this lifetime. What is happening today? Please understand now. So, there's a perception which I am carrying about my own self, good or bad. It's actually not good most of the times. If I understand today's negative atmosphere, there's no tendency to accept myself as I am. So most of the times I am actually rejecting my own self. I am not beautiful enough. I am not good enough. I am not intelligent enough. I am not smart enough. I am not that successful in life. Things do not stop here, okay? At in the household also, at the family level also, comparisons takes place between two siblings. So at every point I have been told, look, your sister did like this, your brother did like this. So even my parents are not able to accept me as I am because based on the criterias that are so-called criterias defined based on the society. They think there are particular criterias which are defined as good or bad. So they don't accept me as I am. I may be different, but I may still be possessing qualities. But they feel those qualities are not sufficient to seek approval from the society. So those criteria started defining me. And in the process of those criteria defining me, I lost touch with my real self, my natural self, my beautiful self, which did not understand these criteria built up by the society. Once a mother came to me, in fact, she's a school teacher, and she came with her son. She said he is supposed to clear engineering exams and we want him to actually get into DSC or BITS Pilani or something like that, and he has not been able to clear the examination, and now we are really upset about how things will be. I just said one thing. I said, how does it matter if he doesn't get in BITS Pilani? He can get into some other place that will also be a way to actually achieve more for him. She rejected it. She rejected it. She said, I will not accept my son getting into a mediocre engineering institute. Just one sec. So the criterias which are given to me by the society, I want my son to meet those criterias, and if it's not getting into bits Pilani, I don't accept my son as a success. And then she started talking about how my elder son got into these places, he's so successful, he has achieved so much. She started talking about all those things. So now, given all these criterias which are forced upon me, I'm not able to see myself as I really am, and I'm not able to appreciate myself for what I am, because at the back of the mind, I'm always thinking I'm not good enough, because this is what was told to me for ages: you are not good enough. And because the age at which it was told to me, I accepted all those things, took it at face value, and now there's no possibility of rejecting it. So now see how things happen in my life. Try to understand the situations. When somebody says something to me, I'm taking very small examples, I'm not taking big set of issues, very small situations I'm taking to put across my point. Suppose somebody says something to me, obviously it will not be positive, it is rare people say something positive to me. They say you just can't do this. For example, they say you are not worth it, you can't do this. This is something which is actually putting question mark on my own ability. You won't be able to do this, you'll not be able to achieve this, you'll not get selected, you'll not get good marks. Teachers also say it, I'm not denying this fact, we are part of the society. So we have been doing all those things which others have been doing, be it parents, be it teachers, be it friends. There has been a tendency to look down upon others. It can say a lot about their own personalities, but there is a tendency to actually make statements which pull the other person down. So now what happens when somebody says something to me? I already was not approving of my own self. There was no tendency of self acceptance as it is within my own mind. The perception of my own self was not sufficient enough for me to accept myself as I am. So I'm not accepting what I am. Now this person comes and he or she says something to me. And that statement is something which is again putting a question mark on my ability. Now I was, as it is, not accepting myself. Now this person comes and says something. That point just gets reinforced. That person said something which I was already aware of, because I was myself not accepting myself as I am. Somebody said, you are not hardworking, you're very laid back, you're very lazy, you are not intelligent, you're not smart enough. There's some point which came from outside. I already was working, thinking about the same thing within my own self, because that self worth, self perception was not positive. So when that person says, we feel really hurt. Why do we feel hurt? We took that statement, we took that comment of the other person on the face value. It was up to me to accept it or reject it. But way my inner programming works now, in all these 20 years and 40 years, that inner programming, how it works, it says what he or she is saying is correct. Why is it correct? Because you, through your mind, accepted it at face value. Your mind did not reject it. Your mind approved of that particular statement. Yes, I am not good enough. There's no possibility of rejection. There's no possibility of rejection means I had already approved of myself in that way. The other person is saying the same thing, and now the point of rejection was first coming from the self, reinforced by the other person. So I take that thing on the face value and I feel more miserable. I was already not feeling very positive about my own self, and now I feel more miserable. So when something like this happens, there's a question mark which actually comes on my own self. Am I able to appreciate myself for what I am? So if I take these things further, you can see how these things work further. For example, you can talk about appreciation that is being given. At times, somebody appreciates me. The reverse can also be true. For example, somebody appreciates me. Now, you may like it for a while, and there might be times when you will say, no, no, you are not saying the truth. No, no, I don't believe it. Because my self acceptance is missing for my own self. So when the other person is trying to accept me, trying to motivate me, trying to appreciate me, again the point of question mark comes. I don't accept myself as I am. So there's a huge problem that is coming at this point. And what is that problem that is coming in? Because there's no tendency to accept the self. So whatever is coming from outside, I take it on the face value, make it a part of me, and I start doing this negative exercise with my own self. I am not good enough. Now, if I want to check all these set of things, how they are working on a single day, how many times do you think about yourself as a positive person, as a good, wonderful human being? Do we ever talk about ourselves being a good person? Ask yourself this question. In the entire day, what do you that was the same question I asked you in the beginning in the when I started this particular topic on perceptions. Throughout the day, how much time I see myself as I am. I don't. My 99% of the energies are directed towards others. What they think, what they are doing, what they said to me, what happened in the outside world. My 99% of the energy is directed in that direction. And that 1% which I ever look inside or look at my own self, I'm only criticizing my own self. I'm only talking about all those things which are not good in me. So, from where will I get that self acceptance? From where will I get that self worth? Then I look for that approval, that acceptance outside. And it doesn't come from there also because they themselves don't have acceptance of their own selves. So that's the point I was trying to emphasize again and again, how these perceptions are formed and how I take them at face value today, preventing the natural real self to be introduced to me. One thing which I don't know, connecting to my own real self, that natural self which has nothing negative, which is not critical, which is not judgmental, which is not criticizing. I'm not introduced to that real self anymore. At one point, I said, do you remember how you were as a child? Do you remember? That natural real self. No influences, no labels, no criticisms, just being myself the way I am. Not seeking approvals, not getting influenced, not thinking about negative things, just taking me as I am and then working towards making myself a better person. So I'm saying these things again because people will say 100 things to me every day. They can laugh at me, they can criticize me, they can mock at me, they can say statements which are not positive. Am I still accepting all those things? Yes or no? If I'm still accepting all those things, then there's no way I'll be able to introduce myself to my real self, which has none of these negativities. So I'm repeating this point again. Self acceptance is the first step, is the first step. It doesn't require degrees, It doesn't require a fabulous CV. It does not require taking a good project with NGO. It doesn't require internship. It doesn't require a big pay packet. It doesn't require a list of research papers. It doesn't require anything, not even physical appearance or physical looks. It just requires one thing: accepting myself as I am today. No conditions attached. No conditions attached. Outside world will always be happening. Do you remember how much you scored when you were in fourth class? Do you remember? Today, probably I don't remember how much I scored in 10th class. I don't remember 25 years back how much I scored in my 10th class. So the things that are happening outside come and go. It's a process. If we talk about the movie, these are different scenes in the movie, and we keep progressing further with new scenes, new events, new circumstances, and we let go of the past. We actually don't let go of the past, but movie has gone from that level. Now I'm not 4 years old, now I'm not 10 years old. But the self acceptance is real and self acceptance is permanent and it is a lifetime thing. That fourth class marks, that 10th class competition, then 12th class board exams, they came and went away. Those scenes came and went away. I am still there with my own qualities, my own goodness, my own wonderful nature, the goodness, I'm still there. Now, my own inner beauty, I'm still there. So, the endeavor actually should not be acquisition, let me acquire more. It will come automatically. People ask me if I start paying more attention on other things and not academics, I will lose out. Do you think this is true actually? Are you trying to tell me that if I am doing certain things like this, I'm sacrificing my work, I'm sacrificing my responsibilities, am I sacrificing my academics? Actually, not. I am putting a quality dimension to each of those things which I am doing. Previously, when I was doing my things, I was less confident. I was less efficient. I was less concentrated. I was less happy. I was more anxious. I was more irritated. I was more furious. I did the work, but there was no joy. There was no contentment. There was no satisfaction. Work can be done. Work is not the problem. Question is, how do I do it? That makes huge amount of difference. So if I don't accept myself, if I don't love myself for what I am, if I don't feel worthy of my own self, I can do anything in this world. I can win a Nobel also. Then also I'll say in the statement in the interview, probably I didn't deserve it. I can say this statement. Or I can say, I probably deserve something better than this. So, what I'm trying to say, please understand my point. We have today become a complex personality consisting of this huge set of influences which were imposed on me, which were bombarded on me, which were introduced to me. Now, what I have is these acquired, accumulated things. My real thing is gone in the process. Now, with this acquired, learned things, I move around in this world. I criticize others, others criticize me. I am critical and judgmental about them, they are doing the same to me. So I have to break all this which I've built up over the years. It's not required, it's making me heavy. I'm not becoming exhausted because I'm listening to too many classes, I'm doing too much of study. I'm becoming exhausted because of the burden mind is always carrying. This is not right. This should not happen like this. I am not good enough. I am not able to do this. This is the burden which I am carrying with my own self. So I'm saying just one thing again, and I'll actually work on these things in the coming sessions also. Some of that I did in the previous 2-3 sessions on qualities. I want to actually reinforce the same set of things today also and give them something additional also today. I'm saying one thing, accepting myself as I am today without seeking approval, without worrying about failures, without worrying about rejections is an exercise which I have to do, okay, for some more time. Why? In the last lecture, I said something, patience. In 20 years, you have built your personality the way it is today. Rejecting yourself, criticizing yourself, rejecting being judgmental about your own self, looking at yourself and disapproving of your own self. Now, reversing this entire process may take some time, but it's important. It's imperative. If I don't do it right now, then it will be more difficult for me to continue these kind of things in future when I'll face more challenges. Outside world is full of challenges. No one can say I'm having a smooth route. Right. It's not smooth. For no one it is smooth. It is very challenging outside. Only a powerful person can face it all. And a person becomes powerful first when you start accepting your own self, approving your own self. So I'm back to the same thing. I want to repeat the same thing because I want those things to get registered in your mind. The qualities which I talked about, I'm emphasizing again how they have to be used, how they have to be affirmed, how you have to actually make yourself the way you are really. You don't have to let go of those personalities and those qualities. First, I interacted with the 11th class girl. We spent half an hour just discussing her qualities. She spoke about each quality. I said, okay, tell me how this quality works in your personality. Tell me how this quality is actually coming into action. I want to know. She started explaining when I interact with others, this is how I am. I'm the same inside out. I'm not superficial, I'm not fake, I'm completely transparent. So each quality she started elaborating. And in the process of discussion, she got clarity about whether she's possessing that quality or not and how it is actually coming into action in the real world. That's something which we started understanding in that half an hour. She understood something about her own self. So I'm not saying make a list. We make list of many things, do's and don'ts. We make a list of many things. I'm saying try to see whether you possess it or not, and how do you see it working in your behavior, in your conduct, in your actions. Each quality is your asset, is your treasure, is your strength. It's not a small thing. If I lose my mobile today, I'm damn worried. I'm panicky. I'm stressed out. When we lose the goodness inside, we don't bother. When we lose the happiness which is part of me, I don't bother. When I discard my qualities, reject the goodness inside me through those qualities, and keep embracing all the negative attributes of the self, don't you think I'm losing out something very big, something very precious? I'm repeating again. I said make a list. I'm saying please sit with that list. Try to understand each quality. Have you ever talked about the qualities of others? Once I was doing this exercise, somebody asked me, okay, about that lady. So I started explaining that personality of that lady. And she was a very virtuous lady, very calm, very divine, very simple and, very attractive, everything, pleasant personality, loving. So as I started explaining all those qualities to my friend, there was such a good feeling inside me. I was feeling so good myself discussing her qualities. There was a smile on her face, and internally in the mind, my entire feelings, my thoughts changed. So I'm saying, have we ever tried to talk about goodness? Have we ever tried to talk about goodness? When you talk about other person's quality, do you feel good? How much you elaborate on the quality of that person? Suppose I am saying your mother is very courageous, or suppose I am saying your father is very practical. How do you see that quality? How do you appreciate that quality? And how that quality actually gets expression through your thoughts and feelings. You enjoy it, you really like it when you explain, you actually tell other person about your parents. I'm talking about creating that same feeling when you talk about your own qualities. It's not a list only. It's not a list only. Let that quality be a part of you. It makes you feel happy. Yes, I possess this. Yes, I am positive. Yes, I am helpful. Emerge those incidents, emerge those situations when you were like that. Affirm it, believe it, see it, visualize it. When you're always feeding your mind with negativity, from where will positivity emerge in your mind? So I'm repeating again, I said last time that you actually have to work on this list. I'm again telling you how you have to work on this list. Make that list and see that list patiently, silently. Don't rush. Yes, I am so beautiful. Yes, I am so helpful. Yes, I am so flexible. Yes, I am so tolerant. Yes, I am so determined. Yes, I am so hardworking. Yes, I am so polite. Yes, I am so humble. Yes, I am so accepting. Let that feeling emerge. Let it not be a thought. Let it not be a word. When you say helpful, it remains a word. It doesn't become an experience. I'm requesting you for this next 1 week. Let's affirm this thing more strongly. Let's work on this with much more attention and devotion. Sit with yourself and try to work on these qualities for the entire week. Early morning is the best time to actually see the list with feelings and with experience, and try to remember it throughout the day. What you feed, that is something which comes to the surface. If you feed your negative qualities, if you feed your weaknesses in the mind, they will be working throughout the day. There'll be a force which will keep pulling you down. And if you keep reaffirming your qualities, yes, I'm hardworking, yes, I can do it, yes, I'm confident, yes, I'm positive, yes, I'm polite, those qualities will surface, they will emerge. So I'm repeating again, early morning is the best time to do it. 10 minutes in the morning just spend on your own self. You deserve this much for your own self. Yes, Shabana has actually put it on the chat in the chat box. Okay, so you can all see it. Early morning is the best time to do it, but throughout the day also keep telling yourself, yes, yes, I am dash 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 dash. There's an what what is the self? Okay, I can actually push and introduce something. For the time being, what you are, I can say you're the self. Or if you want to understand individual is the self. And if you want to go into more details, then spiritual being is the self. Okay, I have actually not introduced it, Bhushan, but that's a big topic in itself, the self. Okay, sometime later I'll introduce it. Let's work on basic things right now. For the timing, the self, as you understand, the individual with qualities, and the individual with weaknesses, the strengths, the composite, the complex personality having the plus and the minus. Yes, any questions which you people have right now? We are going to actually have some 5 more minutes of meditation before we wind up today's session. I'm repeating again. Yes, Shavana ma'am is actually writing everything for us to simplify things for us. So I'm repeating again, work on your qualities, okay, sincerely for this 1 more week. I want to see how they actually work for you for this 1 week. Just work on them. Okay. Any questions? Please let me know. Any more questions? Let me know, Bhushan. I have actually not introduced the self in detail. Okay, briefly, I'm just saying in one sentence, I'm saying the individual as I see, individual without the physical appearance, individual only with qualities and strengths and weaknesses. That's what I want to see right now. That's all I want to see right now. Yeah, Bhushan.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Bhushan.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Bhushan.
मैम, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि क्वालिटीज दैट वी हैव,
Hmm.
ये हर व्यक्ति में ये क्वालिटीज होती हैं, और वो बाहरी अ, जब वो आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड में आता है तो उसकी ये क्वालिटीज गायब हो जाती हैं, या फिर मैं बोलूँ गुम हो जाती
हाँ जी.
हैं. दैट मीन्स द एनर्जी दैट वी क्रिएट अस, एंड द एनर्जी जो हमें, एंड द थ्योरी ऑफ एनर्जी जो हमें बना रही है या फिर जो कर रही है, तो इट मीन्स वो एनर्जी हर व्यक्ति को इक्वल लेवल की क्वालिटीज देती है. इट आई एम राइट और नॉट?
देखो इनहेरेंटली स्पीकिंग तो है सारी क्वालिटीज, बट इस टाइम पे अगर मैं बात करूं तो हमारे पास ऐसे गुण गुण हैं. ठीक है, सम क्वालिटीज वो इनहेरेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई टॉक अबाउट, वी ऑलवेज possess this innate quality of peace, but I don't have it right now, because as I started acquiring the negativity of the world, I became peaceless. So this innate quality of peace I always possessed. Right now I'm not aware of it. So if I keep on emerging these thoughts, मैं अपने आप को रोज अगर अफर्म करूंगी कि मैं एक पीसफुल पर्सन हूँ, तो मेरे अंदर की वो पीस एमर्ज हो जाएगी. उसको मैं एक्सपीरियंस करना शुरू करूंगी, वो और अच्छे से मेरे लाइफ में काम करेगी. इसके बियॉन्ड मेरे पास, क्योंकि क्या होता है, हमने जो अपनी गुडनेस है वो इन द प्रोसेस खो दी. नेगेटिविटी उठा ली, ईगो उठा ली, हमने एंगर उठा लिया, अटैचमेंट उठा ली, कंपैरिजंस उठा लिया, फियर्स उठा ली, रिजेंटमेंट उठा ली. तो सारे प्रोसेस में जो मेरी गुडनेस थी वो तो एक्चुअली चली गई, अंदर चली गई. एमर्ज फॉर्म में अभी गुडनेस नहीं है, एमर्ज फॉर्म में अभी नेगेटिविटी है. तो नेगेटिविटी अभी काम कर रही है. तो ये बात तुम्हारी बिल्कुल राइट है कि हम सबके पास वो गुडनेस थी, पर अभी वी हैव लॉस्ट इट. एंड द ओनली वे टू एक्चुअली नाउ emerge इट, अब अगर मुझे वो सारी चीजें अपनी लाइफ में, अपनी पर्सनालिटी में चाहिए हैं, सेल्फ में वो सारी चीजें चाहिए, तो मुझे थोड़ा काम करना पड़ेगा. अगर मैंने इतने टाइम क्रोध के साथ समय बिताया है, तो मुझे शांति लाने में अब थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. अगर मैंने इतना टाइम टेंशन में बिताया है, अब मुझे अपने को लाइट करके, हल्का करके, रिलैक्स करके चलने में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. तो ये तुम्हारी बात बिल्कुल राइट है, वो गुडनेस हमारे पास थी. ठीक है. और वो गुडनेस हमने ओवर द इयर्स अपने आप ही नेगेटिविटी उठा उठा के हमने डिस्ट्रॉय कर दी, खत्म कर दी. अब वो गुम हो गई है. अब रिक्रिएट करने के लिए मुझे प्रोसेस यूज करना है. उसमें मुझे अपने को आत्मनिरीक्षण करना है, अंतर्मुखी होना, इंट्रोस्पेक्शन करनी है, साइलेंस में बैठना है, उसको बार बार अपने को अफर्म करना है. और उसके बाद लास्ट स्टेप जो होता है, जिसपे हम अभी काम कर रहे हैं, मेडिटेशन. ये सारी चीजें बाहर निकलेंगी, जो अंदर की गुडनेस है, जब मैं ये सारा प्रोसेस फॉलो करूंगी.
थैंक यू मैम.
Anyone else with any more questions? Let's spend 5 more minutes on meditation if there are no more questions. Sanjeev, you want to ask something? Anyone wants to ask anything? I'm going on to the meditation session again for 5 minutes. मैं दोबारा से रिपीट कर रही हूँ फॉर एवरीवन. वो जो
मैम,
कोल्ड. हाँ जी संजीव.
मैं आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट करना चाह रहा था.
हाँ जी.
Like, can we have one session in the coming month, like whenever you think, on anger management? Because I think उस पर एक पूरा सेशन अगर हो जाता है तो I think, of course, whatever you have spoken, this takes care of that, but still on particularly on focusing on the anger aspect, because anger comes through. There are different ways in which anger can be expressed, not necessarily physical. So I wanted that also because there is a lot of anxiety.
Sanjeev, Sanjeev,
Yeah,
I'll take all these set of things. Actually, I'm keeping things very basic right now because if I first don't emerge that positivity in the individuals,
yeah.
I firstly want to actually emerge that positivity in all these students. Somehow they have become very negative about their own selves.
It's not about only students. I think with all of us, we are full of like we. Whenever we think of ourselves, I think we think it in a very. I think there's much that I think that I want to do, and yet that is not possible. And much because I don't think that I'm qualified enough.
Yeah.
This is something that it's not only with the students that happens, because I think at most of time, because of our ambitions, okay, because we set our goals very high, and maybe perhaps we are not able to reach to that, तो उससे भी हमारा एक
Sanjeev, I
frustration होता है.
actually, yeah, I just
Yeah,
want to say one thing, Sanjeev. I
yeah,
actually plan to cover everything, but right now, first thing I want the students to have that feeling of goodness and positivity among
yeah.
themselves.
I think that's very good. That's very good.
I want to
Important.
first let them have that confidence on their own self. That's why I'm right now working on self belief and self acceptance.
Okay, that's
So
great.
once
That's
I
great.
am able to actually bring them to a level where they accept themselves, then we can actually take up more of these other dimensions like fears, anxiety,
Yeah,
anger, comparison. I can take
yeah,
up all those things
yeah. We
later.
can go slow. I don't mind. I think that's
Yeah,
just
I
the.
plan to take all those things, but I'm going step by step because I want people to experience what they listen
Yeah, that's important. That's
and
important.
feel positive and happy about it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah,
So I'll
that's
take
great.
all
Sanjeev,
these topics, Sanjeev. Haan, Shaban.
Sanjeev sir,
Yes,
we
Savannah.
uh, we can have as ma'am is saying, let these class go like that. We can have another speaker which ma'am will suggest for the next program which we'll have on anger management. We can have a speaker, and then Shalja ma'am certainly is going to take that topic also.
Hmm.
So we can have it. No issues on that. ऑल्सो आज
Okay.
एक एक मैम ने एक आज थोड़ा सा मेडिटेशन बताया व्हेन वी आर परसीविंग आवरसेल्फ. तो उसमें अगर हम ये बोलें बार बार ये क्वालिटीज इमर्ज करें कि आई एम पीसफुल, तो वो बस थोड़ा दिन में 4-5 बार थोड़ा सा सोचना होगा हमको. ये बहुत
Hmm.
बेसिक है, लेकिन
Hmm.
ये भी एक मेडिटेशन का पार्ट है. और हम लोग एक स्पीकर जरूर इस पे एंगर मैनेजमेंट पे, जो भी नेक्स्ट
Hmm.
प्रोग्राम रहेगा वो हम एंगर मैनेजमेंट पे रख सकते हैं.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. I think I
जी
agree with both of you. I think that sounds
जी सर.
no problem.
जी जी शैलजा
And
मैम, यस, we can continue with the meditation.
yeah. So everyone just relax yourself. Let your body be very easy. Take a few long breaths and completely relax. Inhale as slowly as you can and then exhale. Do this 3-4 times. Make yourself completely relaxed and easy. In whichever position you are sitting, be very comfortable and easy. Let your mind get into an experience वो उस अनुभूति में चला जाए जो इस समय हम करना चाहते हैं। Start seeing yourself. You are the most important person in your life. Let's spend some time on our own self. See yourself. The mirror in front of you is only showing the physical appearance. Your real natural self, the individual, the self that you cannot see with this physical eyes. But as you see yourself in the mirror today, introduce yourself to that individual, your natural real self, who is very, very beautiful, a wonderful person, full of goodness, full of life, full of positivity, full of divinity. Your real natural self is all of this. Try to feel the goodness inside. Try to feel the beauty inside, the beauty of the self, the beauty of the soul, your own qualities. See yourself. You are so beautiful. As you tell yourself this particular sentence, see how your feelings change, how a smile comes on your face. You possess so much. You are unaware of your own potential, your own capabilities, your own strengths, your own qualities, your own goodness. You are unaware. The mind that is inside, the treasures that you possess inside, you never got the time to see them. Today, just see yourself. You are important for your own self. See the beauty, see the goodness. You are special. You are unique. There's no one like you on this earth. We all individuals are different and yet unique. Appreciate your own uniqueness. There's something which only you possess and no one else. And now, as you move ahead, see the qualities of the self slowly and gradually. Appreciate yourself for what you possess. With your name, again, take a deep breath. With your name, tell yourself, yes, I am beautiful. because I am humble with your name. Let the thought sink in. Let the feeling emerge. Let the experience come. Yes, I am friendly. Yes, I am humble. Yes, I am helpful. Yes, I am hardworking. Yes, I am creative. Take each quality. Yes, I am patient. Take each quality with name. Tell yourself, yes, I am. With each quality, let feeling of goodness emerge. The way you appreciate others. Today, as you appreciate the self, emerge the feeling of goodness and joy and pride and faith. Yes, I am strong. Yes, I am ambitious. Appreciate the goodness of the self. Continue to see yourself, see your thoughts, see your feelings. The experience is important. Go into the experience. Let the experience go deeper and try not to open your eyes until unless a good feeling has emerged from inside. And good to practice it again in the next 1 week. Slowly open your eyes and reflect upon your experience right now. I want you all to work on this for the next 1 week with sincerity. This is very important. Though I have done this exercise with many students, for most of them, after 2 3 months, it remains only on paper and they forget what they wrote in the qualities. Therefore, I am paying attention to this thing again with drawing your attention. Don't let this remain on paper. Keep this in mind. Shabana, we can wind up if there's nothing else.
Yes, ma'am, we can wind up for today. Thank
Alright,
you,
so
everyone.
yeah. Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful week
Thank
based
you,
on
ma'am.
experiences.
Thank you, ma'am. Same to you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye
Thank
for
you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
तो इधर बट्टी दे कोई नहीं है बाबा तुमने लीव कर दो